Hey choppers, welcome to this edition of Behind the Mask. I'm here with Stephen and Floyd, who are the designers of Slash and Spells, which is coming to Kickstarter soon. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about the game.
Sure. So Slash and Spells has been in development for around 3 years now. I had kind of been introduced to the board game community here in the Bay Area as a new designer. I'd always wanted to make some fun board games growing up, playing tons of games with my grandma, my sister, and my family. It's always a big part of a lot of my happiness growing up. So I decided one day, maybe I should make a game. I had a boss recommend Kickstarter as a potential way to bring things to life and bring happiness to people's tables. And so I blindly started down this journey and started designing this thing, ran into Floyd at a designer meetup, and we've been friends ever since. And I've been kind of working on this thing solo for so long that when I introduced to where, it was at today to Floyd about a year ago, he was very interested in working with me on it, on taking it to the next level. Mm-hmm. Floyd's got a lot of experience designing games, and not only that, he's a great human being. And so we decided that we wanted to build a really, really fun game, and we settled on a couple great mechanics. So I don't want to take too much of Floyd's thunder away, but one thing that we definitely built was a really fun skirmish combat game with 6 deeply asymmetrical heroes that tell an evolving story as you play, as you knock down your opponents and try to score those knockdowns, which is the win condition. And Floyd can maybe describe some of the interesting mechanisms that we built to make the game really fun for players.
Yeah. So aside from the cool thematics of the fantasy world and the brightly colored and illuminated heroes, you have the map that's very strategically designed so that all the combat happens around the center. Then you have a lot of action slotting mechanisms, and we have this cool active discard thing that when you play a card, it gets slotted into a battle tactics field instead.
Yeah.
And that enhances and increases the number of action selections that you could do. But I think the coolest part about it is that each hero can take on up to 3 arcs and even mix and match them to make your own custom hero. And to even top that off, you can add traits that adjust your hero. And also they have their own unique of 18 cards. And each hero is completely different from the other. So you could be learning a new hero and potentially come back and learn more.
Yeah. And each one of those heroes has for people that are familiar with Warcraft, has a tree of skills that they can build up to and then unlock the ultimate ability that they can access. I mean, I really like that on the player mats where it has it.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the pieces of the puzzle that we put together here. So in that deeply asymmetric character building arc that we designed for the game, that skill tree is kind of front and center because one of the main mechanisms of the game is there's just this active volcano in the world of Slash and Spells, and as it's sort of coming towards an eruption, into the world comes, through the lava and the land, different relics of control in blue and power in red and growth in yellow. And you as a hero, you're vying for these ways to increase your abilities and your power and to seize control of your destiny, to save your people or bring down the world, depending on what character you are. So you're going after these, and these enhance your core abilities. They help tell a story of your character as you get specific bonuses that push you one direction into the 3 different variable choices that you have for your character. We have, various different types of characters that do different things. Like we have a really interesting druid, which is our most complex character. It's something for really crunchy board gamers. We wanted to give them a really interesting experience where the druid actually becomes her familiars that she brings onto the map, these tokens that are highly situational and positioned across the board. And so you can actually become a bear or a tree ant. You can become the wolf and actually gain their hard-coded attributes and skills. So that's one piece of the puzzle, is these really interesting positional awareness pieces and the deep asymmetry in terms of what each character does something unique and interesting. It makes for a lot of fun, but we still also have very approachable characters for more casual board gamers that don't involve a ton of crunching, and it's still really fun to pick up and play if you have someone in your family who's not a super technical board gamer. So.
Definitely, yeah. I like playing it. It's Magmar, right?
Magmar.
Magmar, yeah. But I'm just chucking rocks at people. As soon as I pick them up. Yeah, and then the strategy wise, with figuring out how many spaces away, and also there's the I want to say demons, but that might not be the right word. That you can encounter on the map that are placed at the beginning of the game.
Yeah. So there's the encounter spaces, and those are just like random types of encounter type. I guess we would say creatures or monsters from the land, like trolls, orcs, little otter warriors, spiders, and they all curse you.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're mostly negative, but if you do destroy them, you do get an item card. So it kind of rewards you for removing them from play, but you can throw your opponents into them and curse them, and then permanently curse them if you were to defeat their encounter. There'll be no way for them to remove the remove the curse.
And so, to go a little bit about it, because it's unique, I haven't really seen it in any other game, the slotting mechanism where you're discarding, because you have a hand of cards that you play, and then whenever you play them, they start off on the left side of your board in one of the 3 slots, because you have, is it 6 or 8 basic abilities?
6 basic action
and then you'll have it with these cards because they have an ability on them, and then once you use it, it gets slotted, so the latter half of the card actually becomes one of the abilities, so you'll have like 7 and then 8 and 9 as they go ahead and go, and then they finally go into a discard. And it's an awesome mechanic that I haven't really seen in any other game. That guy right there? Yeah.
This is the guy who designed it, and it's a really great mechanic. Floyd, do you want to describe how you came up with it and why it's such a really cool part of our game?
Yeah, so I think initially when we looked at each character, there was 6 of each cards that associated with the tier arc. And the problem was they were so situational to that arc that when you had played the card and literally there was no way to get it back. So one workaround was that we had to find a way to keep that card itself active, but we didn't want to unbalance anything. So that's when we kind of came up with this active discard, which was more of like a solution rather than actually, hey, a copy mechanic where it's like, hey, this is action selection or general mechanic that we just took from somewhere.
Yeah.
We had to create this entirely new mechanic so that the whole game would work itself.
Yeah. And it works. I played it. I played it a couple times. It's great. And I think I lost to Liz the last time we played. Yeah,
go Liz.
But it happens. So it's coming to Kickstarter. What are you guys thinking about launching? Do you have a definite date?
We have a definite date. It's March 29th, that Tuesday. Okay. So end of March, the last Tuesday in March. That's when we're trying to go live. So hopefully you guys come check us out. We would love to have you back the game. I think we're delivering incredible value. 6 heroes, acrylic standees, a lot of pieces, a lot of components, and a lot of brilliant, beautiful art, and a lot of fun for various different age and skill levels, of course.
Yeah, definitely. What do you, if you can speak on that, what stretch goals do you guys possibly have planned? Some designers like to keep it secret, wait till the campaign.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, but some was like, oh yeah, we got this, we got the increase, start dice and So if you can speak, you don't have to.
You can speak at a very high level. Me and Floyd are still working through exactly what our stretch goal is going to be. We're still a month and a half out. We've got quotes from manufacturers. We're looking at each element of where we can add the most value to backers, and also what numbers we need to hit to be able to add better things to the game. Because I know me and Floyd, we build games for people, and at the end of the day, we want to deliver the best product to backers as humanly possible. And so we're thinking of a lot of different generic stuff that we see in a lot of campaigns that people like. I did survey some people. One of the things was dual layer boards. I don't know if that'll be a stretch goal or if that'll be a buy up product line. I'm still debating whether we do it that way. There's some really cool common stuff like cardstock. We want to offer really nice cardstock, linen finish for the boards. We're looking at a couple different ways to maybe deluxify some components from, turning more things acrylic, not just the standees that are going to come standard. Maybe even some coins. I mean, we're working through a lot of different creative avenues. I know we're going to do a lot of the really interesting social stretch goals, unlocking new item cards. So new item cards will come out. I mean, who knows? We got some clever ideas in the back burner. Nothing too crazy that we can reveal now because we don't want to promise something and then change it later. So give us the benefit of the doubt that they're going to be good, though.
I think this is that type of game where it's very intuitive, but all the focus is on the hero and how complex it is. So I think there's so much room for expanding, and there's so much room for, hey, let's add new heroes, let's add new items. I'm not hinting those are going to be the stretch goals. These are kind of, hey, later down the line, there's so much possibilities to slashing.
I mean, there's always an expansion.
Oh,
There's something like that, upgrades.
Oh yeah, we're looking at all the avenues. I think at the end of the day, we just want to deliver a lot of fun, and we want to bring the backers with us on the journey throughout all of it. So we'll be like asking polls and quizzes as we get closer to the launch as to like what people are more interested in and want to see for the campaign. But we're still ironing out the details, the economics of it, making sure that everything is totally buttoned up, because the ultimate thing is like Floyd's had a bunch of campaigns that he ran really, really well, and I'm trying to make sure that everything is really tight in terms of timeline, who we're working with manufacturer-wise, shipping and logistics. Yeah. So we're gonna get this to you guys, and we're gonna work with you to make it a really fun journey as it's a launch. Yeah. So
speaking of the shipping, for anybody that's interested in like this is behind the mask, so behind the scenes of the development and everything. What are you doing in terms of the shipping problems that are coming from China with the less than full loads and everything like that? Are you thinking of like waiting down the line for production to see if it kind of stabilizes? Because from what I heard, it's like 5 times the normal price for a cargo hold than it was like a year and a half, 2 years ago because of COVID and lockdown and everything.
I don't think we have a full answer. I think everyone's struggling right now with that. I think it is going to be wait and see. I think we're going to prepare for it to go either up or down. So we'll try to mitigate any potential issues. I mean, because like I said before, our ultimate goal is to get this into the hands of backers. There's inflation right now. There's also potentially like maybe people are going back to work soon, so maybe it'll go away. But there's no guarantee, and so we're navigating it day to day. I'm paying attention to whoever's solving this problem as best as they can. I think we're trying to be reasonable about shipping. We're gonna subsidize it a bit, but we're not gonna go crazy just because I don't think we can, because it might risk the business to do that nowadays. I know a lot of publishers have maybe kept their shipping in line with the current rates, but we don't have a secret bullet or anything, but we're just really keenly focused on the problem today and operating the business as best as we can for what's going on, unfortunately. Yeah.
So you have a Facebook community group, and for anybody watching, the link will be in the description below, as well as when the Kickstarter goes live, I will be adding the description below. So you'll be able to find it and go straight to it. And if you have BGG page already?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, Board Game Geek page.
Check
link
us out.
down there. Go hit that heart support button to follow along and everything. Well, thank you guys for sitting down with me.
Thank you, Logan.
That's basically it. I was going to say something and it just went out of my mind. Oh, well, I'm probably going to cut this out. So, yeah, thank you guys for sitting down with me. The links will be down below in the description. And I'm Logan for Behind the Mask, and we will see you guys next time. Happy gaming.
Thank you.